You ever wondered why your vocals sound like they were recorded in a bathroom on a karaoke machine? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the 9 most common vocal production mistakes that even professionals make sometimes. From reverb overload to sibilance sizzle, we're going to help you take your vocals from singing in the shower to chart-topping bop. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to avoid these common pitfalls. Looking to level up your sound even more? I make videos every week that share the secrets to getting the best professional sound you can from your home studio. Join our growing community of passionate producers and learn how to create music all from your home. Hit the subscribe button today so you don't miss a beat. Let's hop into mistake number 1. Poor gain staging. Gain staging is the adjustment of volume levels before and after recording to get the best sound possible. And if your gain isn't set right, your vocals will suffer. Too much gain while recording leads to clipping and distortion, while too little gain can add unwanted noise when you finally compress your vocal. Finding a balance between the two will give you the best possible results. Shoot for recording your vocals to peak around -10 decibels. This will give you enough headroom to account for any big changes in volume during singing, but it will still give enough of that signal that when you compress it, you won't get any unwanted room noise. On to mistake number 2, ignoring room acoustics. One of the biggest problems I hear with amateur sounding vocals is where they were recorded. In a normal room, sound waves will bounce around the walls. And if you're recording, they can bleed into the microphone. Though they might not seem obvious right away, adding plugins and effects will magnify these room noises. To tackle this, the best producers acoustically treat their studios. Hanging sound panels on the wall, like this one, helps absorb some of those nasty reflections and gives a better end result. If you don't have acoustic panels, hanging heavy blankets on the walls or even recording in a closed closet can help dampen some of those nasty reflections and give you better results. Acoustic panels also help in the mixing stage and hearing sounds accurately. This is the #1 recommendation I give to producers that want to take their sound to the next level. It really is that much of a difference maker. On to mistake number 3, overcompressing. Unless you're brand new to music production, you've probably heard the word compression more times than Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas during December. It's a hot topic, and rightfully so. It's important. But this obsession with compression leads to messing with our message. Overcompression is when too much compression is applied to a vocal. This makes the vocal sound lifeless, squashed, and overprocessed. Many of the natural inflections and body of a well-recorded vocal are lost when too much compression is applied. Compression needs to be present on most takes so that the vocal can sit at the front of the mix. But adding too much isn't necessary. To get a more natural sound, try adding multiple compressors in a row that are doing less of the work, -5 dBs each or less. Or you could try parallel compression by turning the mix knob on the compressors down. That leads us to mistake number 4, which is not addressing sibilance. Sibilance is the extra high frequencies present in a vocal that can make them sound harsh and unpleasant. This often comes from the letter S and sh, but can affect others as well, like t and k. The best way to reduce sibilance is to set up the vocal recording properly. By using a pop filter and by distancing yourself around 5 to 10 inches from the microphone, you'll help cut down on some of those harsh frequencies. After a vocal has been recorded and printed, there's a tool called a de-esser, which will help take some of that harshness away. With most de-essers, you can solo the specific frequencies where your S's or your sibilance lies, so you can pinpoint them and turn them down. Use it. Moving right along to mistake number 5, overusing reverb and delay. Reverb and delay are the golden children of the singing world. Adding them on a vocal transforms a studio dry recording into something that's in an actual space. But are we doing too much? Dial the reverb and the delay back. Save it for the most important parts of the song. The more dry a vocal is, the more in your face that vocal will appear to the listeners. Notice how much reverb and delay that professionals are using on their tracks. Most of the time, it's less than you're putting on your tracks. On to mistake number 6, not automating. Automation is when you adjust the levels of specific elements of a track over time. For example, as the song goes up, you might want to increase the volume of a certain track. You can automate that with parameters like this. Automation gives life and adds interest to your tracks. It also helps create a more dynamically consistent vocal for you. This can also help with overcompression, which was mistake number 3. Rather than just adding that compression, many top producers will go through the voice and gain stage it using automation so that the compressors have to do less work. Other common types of automation include filtering and reverb. Failing to use automation can lead to inconsistent vocal levels and uninteresting parts. Above all else, when the vocal changes throughout time, it's more interesting. Mistake number 7, relying solely on presets. Vocal presets are a game changer. They save time and produce amazing results all without any production knowledge at all. At Music by Maddie, we know how helpful they are, and we've even created a free download for you to try some vocal presets to see they work for you. But presets are limited. The real power of presets comes when you understand the plugins being used and adjust the parameters to fit your specific vocal. Your vocal is 100% unique. That means it needs a unique EQ, unique compression, unique de-essing. You get the picture. Vocal presets can do most of the grunt work for you, but if you want to get that extra 20% of polish and shine, you're going to have to learn how to adjust the parameters yourself. If you're interested in learning more about that vocal chain and some of the plugins, you can check out my last video where I detail how to create a vocal chain in Logic using stock plugins. Same concepts apply to other DAWs as well. Go check it out. On to mistake number 8. Neglecting vocal timing. When it comes to a vocal performance, timing plays a really important role in intriguing the audience members. People latch on to small discrepancies in tempo whether they realize it or not. Timing is so much harder to fix than pitch in post-production that this is why I want to emphasize it. The plugins that exist to fix timing often add artifacts to the sound. So make sure that your vocals are recorded to tempo. Use a click track if you can. Make sure that there's no latency between your recording programs. And if you do need to change the recording afterwards, I suggest moving blocks by phrases and not by individual words. On to the last mistake, and that's having a poor vocal and instrumental balance with the rest of your track. Adjust all of the elements in reference to each other to get the best result. I like to mix my vocals last on my songs because I find that the last element I mix tends to be the one that stands out the most and is the most clear. Mixing vocals to the track is not easy by any means, and it definitely deserves its own video, but it's something to keep in mind as you make your music. Getting great sounding vocals can seem like a Herculean task, but with the right techniques and know-how, it can be a really rewarding experience. You're already taking the right steps by watching this video. Nice. If you subscribe to my channel and absorb as much information as you can, you'll be well on your way to producing professional sounding vocals all from your home. Avoid these common 9 mistakes and your vocals are sure to sound better. As always, keep practicing and have fun. Peace.